Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It is great to have you. Apologies for a little stutter there. I thought I was about to drop my phone, but it's okay. And it's great to be back. We're here once again. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and shout out once more for Broadside Empires of Steel. I'm looking forward to it. I do have a image here. My good friend Richard York. I recommend you go ahead and check him out on YouTube. He's my good friend. We've been friends for a while now, actually. You'll know him from Slytherin, too. And, yeah, we met in person. I got my ass whooped multiple times playing bolt action against him. As well as battle group. It's honestly not even funny at this point. Alright, here we are. But we do have... I managed to get a hold of some of the files. So I do have some British ships and some German ships being printed. I'm going to go ahead and actually do a learning game in the near future. And just try to record it and share thoughts. See how I find the game, and just let you guys know. But I'm really, really eager to try out, like, you know, like World War I naval combat. Looking forward to that. So this is the image I got from Richard earlier on, and I think it's the HMS Invincible. It's battle cruiser, so I'm looking forward to that. So you can go ahead and find them over here on Broadside Empires of Steel. Do go ahead and check it out. It's a cool game. I'm looking forward to trying it. I hope you guys don't mind me talking about the things I find interesting. Oh, and I did, 1 second, let me go ahead. I've got a comment here. I've got a comment that I need to find to just quickly discuss. Let me find it. Here we are, here we are. Right, Mr. Rex 290. Only 6 minutes in. Eventually you have to raise extra troops. Don't make it a challenge. Don't make it a challenge. I agree. But if you say you'll have to, that makes it a challenge. But I agree, and I would be insane not to do that, so we'll see. I've been reorganizing the army of Conrad von Hotzendorf over here. I'm not quite yet ready with a turn, I just need to do a few more things. Put the turns in from Alex and Plumber, and we can go ahead and resolve it. That'll only take a few minutes. I just want to give you guys an idea of what I'm doing here. Now, the funny thing is with these heavy artillery brigades, they're very heavy. So I can only have the 2 divisions and the brigade. So what I'm trying to do here is max what I've got. The only problem is I'm kind of running out of men. Very professional, so I'm going to have to settle for militia. The good thing about militia is I can go ahead and take 3 units of militia and give them a regiment of heavy artillery. And it works rather well. I've got the cavalry over here with the armoured cars. It does mean that this army is actually 190,000 men, which is a very large army. I can't command all of that, there's no way I can command all of that. So, and this is even with like 2 outside over here. Let me go ahead and take a look. I'm going to keep that. I don't really like to surrender corps with heavy artillery, but again, I just cannot manage all of them. I do have another, well, I have 2 army commanders here. I have another good commander over here. So, it's not too bad. I can go ahead and assign them over here. It does mean that the heavy artillery is being shared out a little bit more than I would have preferred. I was hoping that I could concentrate it, very heavily concentrate it, but it's okay. Probably about 3 to 4 corps per force works out. But there's a lot of artillery in here. A lot of artillery. Like, this army on its own has 996 cannon. Obviously, I do have militia in here, but that is a lot of medium artillery. I do need to go ahead and work back. Well, I need to work on getting ammunition out here. My ammunition supply has been up and down, so I do need to bear that in mind. Let me go ahead and see if I've got any messages here. I don't think people have got into the chat as of yet, but I'm sure they'll join here shortly enough. I really wish it wasn't the default to have, like, top messages. That's a pain in the ass. But let's see. I have cavalry over here. I'm going to go ahead and actually give the cavalry. Well, you can go in here, and eventually when I can make them corps commanders, I can have cavalry. It's a bit of a shame, but I can't have them indirectly. That's okay. So what I'll do then is assign them 3 regiments of medium artillery. Like so, to bring them up. I do have the additional support elements. I will be moving to the front lines now shortly. And then I do have another commander over here. So in the future, I'm going to have another army formed. Oh, I do have a Lemberg forces here, so he can go ahead and take those men on right now. Alright. I'm actually still over here. I have really far too much artillery. I think I was 5 over or more. Might have been 7. Oh, I didn't mean to take Hotzendorf out of there. Oh, wrong army. Right, there we are. Still 2 over. Right, so I have here... How many guns is this? I can't seem to get it to do the message. I think you have to have infantry in here, maybe. Let me go ahead and take that in there. That's 14,000 men with 252 cannon. So that's 252 pieces of medium artillery. This commander could handle additional men. I do need to get that commander, actually. I need to give him corps commanders. So what I'll do then is take you... I could even take the army commander, but it's okay for now. Oh, I need to build him back as a army commander. There we are. Right, so this corps over here can meet with the forces here. I'll go ahead and give that army artillery. In fairness, additional artillery would have been nice over here actually, but these men actually have divisions, so they're running with light artillery versus heavy artillery. But the army of von Hotzendorf is fairly powerful, not as powerful as it could be. Like, I need, and this is why I brought that comment up earlier, I do need to go ahead and actually invest in some regular divisions, as much as I hate that. I do have regular divisions and reserve divisions over here, but a lot of them are militia too. Having the artillery moved over here would be of good benefit to us, and that's going to be nice. Right. So, as far as what I want to do with Hotzendorf, we do have the observation balloon in here, we do have support too. I just need to get the supply munitions back up to snuff, basically. As far as it goes, I mean, I do have a very high level depot here. It's a level 3 depot, size 10 town. By the way, a depot, even a level 1 depot, is superior to all cities from level 1 to 14. It's only a level 15 city, or a size 15 city, that is actually superior to size 1 depot. So yeah, bear that in mind. Depots are very, very good. I'm thinking about maybe having that moved over here to Remsel. It's the artillery I need, it's the shells that I need. So I think I do need to produce more ammunition. Like, there's shell stockpiled over here at Budapest. Shell stockpiled over here at Vienna. And over here at Graz. So there's a couple of shells around. Oh, because I have an artillery factory here. Iron mines over here. Must be the central bank there. Financial firepower. Yeah. So, in terms of what I want to do here then, we could have an army march towards Brest-Litovsk. I could march this way towards Brest-Litovsk. There's a lot to be said for moving on to something like Pinsk, or just in this general area, try and cut them off. I do have a objective over here at Brno. He is presenting himself as a very, very good looking target over here, but we'll have to see about that. As far as it goes, the strategic direction of von Hotzendorf is a little ambiguous right now. This may be the first turn I actually do raise divisions, but they're going to be Austrian divisions. We'll see. Alright, let's see. So, I still have some munitions over here that need to be stockpiled again. Oh, I do have two. Did I move the 2 out? Oh, I've got a couple more here as well, actually. So, let me go ahead and grab these munitions and supplies. I really need to just better organize who has what. I do have the army of von Kluck in here. The army of von Kluck has recovered, which is very good. I was considering actually having the Corps of von Linsingen move down here south. Yeah. What I am thinking about then is, and I did have a good comment, I think it was in the stream last time, regarding, but I don't actually even have to attack it at Brest-Litovsk, I could attack somewhere else. Like, for example, I could move over here and cut the rail line. I could move a corps and cut the rail line. Or if I move over here to Cowell. I think it's Cowell that I mentioned. If I take Cowell and cut this rail line, then they're not going to escape, or at least they're going to find escape even harder. So I was kind of thinking about doing something like that with von Hotzendorf, like having von Hotzendorf move up this way. I could have him march this way, but I think I'd rather have the rail lines. Alternatively, I could march upon Dubno and take these, but doing that would be wise. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is dispatch a corps to go up this way, cut the rail lines that way. It's also size 2 depot, so it would be excellent. And the only thing that does give me pause is the fact of the weather. It's not great, and I'm not too sure if I want to go ahead and incur the wrath of nature. But I think it would be worth it nonetheless. Right, I have supplies over here. These ones are moving... Oh, these are moving to Danzig. Yes, that does make sense. I think honestly moving more supplies there would be a wise idea. These ones can go into this city there. If they were active, I'd love to attack. Alright, so let's take a look then. So we have the army of von Bülow. I do need to get more calls over here to von Bülow. The ammunition needs to be moved back over here to restock. I can move over here to Königsberg relatively safely. And then enter into the city. So I've got supply enough. I need to figure out exactly how much supply. Like right now, current stock is 104 points. I use 35 a turn. I really need to bear that in mind. I've not been paying too much attention to this beforehand, and I think I need to. I think I'm really underestimating the amount of supply that my armies need, especially in the field. Like, for example, I have the army here. 221. It's only really got about 4 turns of supply there. How you doing there, Daniel? You could maybe try to go to Breza and cut the rail lines. How you doing there, Abel? Good to have you. There's a road to it to cut off the direct retreat route from Brest-Litovsk. So that is to Breza. Oh, yes, over here, actually. That's a really good point. And that doesn't actually incur any risk. I think I do, in fact, have cavalry over here. I'm going to need more supply out here. We do have one Falkenhayn, which is going to be quite interesting. Yeah, that will be quite interesting. I do have a cavalry commander over here. So, what I could go ahead and do then, I do need to get more supply up over this way. It's a shame I don't have a supply here, but if I was to go ahead and... I don't think it affects the speed at which they move with the artillery. That would be 30 days, 17 days. It's like just 2 days here, and then the 15 days here. Yeah, 2 days. What I'll go ahead and do then is order the cavalry division here. I can go ahead and actually get some additional supply over here then. And then by next turn, I can give them plenty of supply and have them actually pull off that exact movement mentioned there. I may be able to do the same over this way. A fast mover would be even better, in fact. He's a fast mover. But he's not an actual direct corps commander, which... It's not the end of the world. Connaissance... But he's an actual fast mover, and he's a good commander too. This is a very good commander. A very useful commander there. He's a good army administrator. Oh, but it applies if he's the commander of a stack. I wonder if it applies if he has his own troops in the corps there. Probably so. Right, you can go ahead and join the artillery train. You can command them. The aircraft will remain here for now. I'll go ahead and take out this commander here. I didn't mean to move him in here, but he can move there too. What I'll do then... I'm going to have to raise some regular troops, aren't I? As much as I'd prefer not to, I'm probably going to have to do that. But we'll see. plenty else over here, which is very useful. I'm going to go ahead and give... Do I give them a pontoon? I'm thinking about giving them the pontoon because I do have a river over here. But if the weather is harsh, there's a chance that the river may be frozen, and I should have an easier time. Cowl, yeah. Cowl, just in general, yes. In fairness, if I move a cavalry corps over here to Cowl, I can capture the rail lines and then move my men out very, very quickly and without taking anywhere near the amount of risk. I do need to get more supply over here. I'm thinking about even taking supply from the Germans, but I need more supply. I think, to be honest, what I'm going to be doing in the future is building up more supply too. Right, so over here then. Where are they gone? Oh, there they are. There they are. So, Mr. Kraus, you could in fact command a little bit more on the way of cavalry. Whoops. He could manage it a little bit more, but that's okay. Once I can actually have them as part of a corps, then that's probably what I'd be able to manage anyway. Now, he's not a corps commander this turn. I think I'm going to go ahead and give him the pontoon bridge. And it'd be tempting to give him the balloon. I don't think I need it. If I give him the signals, I could maybe throw another cavalry in there, but let's see. Let's give him what supply I have. I'm really liking supply here. Really liking it. Really, really liking supply. A lot of it's over these armies. So this over here, this is with some munitions captured from the Russians too. They need to go into the actual garrison, basically. Just inside the city and take on supply. I'll have you just move inside the city for now. Right, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely lacking supply over here. These guys, right, he has 3, he has 4. I need to get that moving back, but that's going to take a while. How quickly can I move this? Oh, I can still... Oh, I forgot about the rails over here. Yeah, I can use those rail lines. Okay, that's great then. But I need to get supply out there. I was waiting on the corps commanders to arrive out this way. 2 over here. Let's see. I was thinking about moving here to recover the... well, repair the rail line, but I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is... they've recovered a 1.6... yeah, 165 per day here. I doubt he's going to come back for me. But what I can go ahead and do then is rest within the city, and I can rebuild about 3.15 cohesion per day. So I'll be able to rest and recover them pretty quickly. I am lacking supply, really lacking supply. Oh, yes, the sport elements are ready now. There we are. Well, almost all of them anyhow. These guys 4 days, so they'll be ready by next turn. Yes. Another pontoon bridge is ready, that's good. Oh, I also do have some additional militia there. How handy. There's much that could be said for having the army and militia with the heavy artillery support, but I'd rather have the actual proper divisions because they are better troops, they do have higher discipline. And I think discipline does matter. I need to read in the manual exactly how discipline influences things, but I think it's just how they fight, when it comes to like cowardice and things of that nature. Right, we have a doctor and another pontoon over here. That's very handy. I need to make sure that the armies are really properly equipped. Once I have properly equipped armies, I'm going to be able to prosecute a pretty vigorous campaign. I also do need to leave a large amount of rail points to actually help distribute supply. The remaining rail pool actually goes towards distributing supply points out across your network. So I do want to make sure I have that. Let me go ahead and double check over here. It's not that long actually until... So Italy, Romania, Bulgaria, and Greece. That's great news. It's not that long until we'll be running the turn. I do have it from Alex and Plumber. I'm just going ahead and finishing off what I'm doing here. Alright, so I've got them. Got them. Got those guys. Let me tell you they're snoring. Nearly finished in Stuttgart. Right, so not everything's finishing yet, but that's okay. We had monarchy forced into retirement this time, which is a shame, but okay, that was my fault. So... let me go ahead and move, because there's no need for that core to be over. I do have a number of commanders as well that will be reactivated next time, which is going to be very handy, because I do need more core commanders. I'm not sure, I need to read up again. I keep meaning to read up on aircraft, I keep forgetting. Right, I've got 4 divisions there. I've got 4 divisions and a militia division. Okay. I do have a the Northern army over here. They'll be recovering soon. I have my fighter battalion over here. Yeah, I'm eager to see how they perform. Very eager to see how they perform there. Right. How much is this militia? 6, okay. I can't make you into a corps commander right now. I did move the heavy artillery in here. What is the size of my depot here? I have a size 1 depot. How you doing that, Arthur? Yeah, the French up to something. Alex is both the most aggressive and the most cautious commander I've ever met. He's honestly like a fucking wild card. Because he just like he was like consistently like, oh yeah, the French don't have enough men. They don't have enough men. Oh, you have way too many men in the West. I'm like, fucking hell, I wish I had too many men in the West. And then he just throws this like Verdun at me. He didn't intend to do that. I mean, I was shocked. He was surprised actually as well by the offensive order continuing. But it's the fact that the man went for it to begin with, which okay. I mean, this is it. Had it just been a single attack, it would have been okay. But it's the fact that it continued. But I mean, there's only so much you can control. It looks like the order remained, so the offensive continued, and it was bloody. It was insanely bloody. But this comes from a man who's very cautious. So it's like he's the most cautious, yet bloodthirsty, offensive general I've ever met. So it is very difficult to know exactly how to respond to him. This area is potentially directly threatened. I mean, it's right next to Valdemoiselle. I need to have reserves able to move around. Are you an active commander? You are an active commander, that's great. I still need far more artillery in the west. Far more. Have the militia here moved. Alright, let's see. I'm just really happy to have a couple divisions over here that are available. I just need to have corps commanders there. Yeah, unpredictably bloodthirsty commander. Yeah, exactly. Nice French RP. Pretty much. Alright. The army of the north could do with some additional I think another 2 divisions. I'll go ahead and send 2 divisions to the north then. Whoops. Oh god. I keep doing it by mistake. I'll have 2 divisions shifted up here then. I did take some from there. But again, yeah, we need more divisions. Maybe it's the turn I start producing divisions. We'll see. I've done so well to hold off on that. It is actually relatively cheap. I'm just cheap myself, actually. I did raise additional artillery over here. Yeah, there we go. Festung, yeah, fortress artillery. So I'm going to have that sent to the west. I know it's pretty crazy that I'm having all this artillery sent to the west just consistently, but it's just, I think it is worth it. I'm really, really, really trying to build up on just the sheer amount of heavy artillery that I have. I think it is going to be one of those where it could be something of a make or break. Because it's just the raw firepower of it. Like if we compare here, we have the heavy artillery. This one, interestingly, is range 5. I swear to God I've seen range 6. Oh no, it's the... Ah, okay. So the medium artillery has a range of 6. I thought the medium artillery... Sorry, I thought the heavy artillery had greater range than the medium. But I guess the medium had... Interesting, actually. Medium artillery is very useful then, actually. Very useful. Definitely need more medium artillery then. But either way, we do have the range 5 of the howitzers over here. Range damage to 9. Discipline rate of fire. Firepower 22, 26. I need to take more of a look into that. 18, 20. Range damage 1729. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'm not too sure about it. You should have an artillery advantage, especially once the heavy... Yeah. I'd like to say so. I think we've really been churning it out. I think he's been focused... I think they both obviously produce additional divisions, but I think I have been really building additional artillery. Like, I've got... there's 4 regiments of artillery over here. I think I may have another one. Yes, there's another one over here at Stuttgart. So we have 5 regiments of heavy artillery under construction. We'll have another 2 available. We've got 1 heading out to the west now, obviously from the one that we took from the fortress. I was actually thinking about that, and I guess, yeah, it's okay. But yeah, we do have that artillery moving out there. I think in the future then I'll produce more medium artillery, but I want to max out on heavy artillery. I'm going to have to start producing more shell production too. Because the thing is like I could quickly run out of shells. But I'm hoping that I could be in a position where by the time I run out of shells, he's going to run out of men. The good news is it does make it just far easier for us when we actually do push forward to just take down enemy cities, fortresses, etc. Because each one of these units here is siege artillery, so it provides a 1-point siege bonus to the whole stack when attacking. So you can imagine if we actually do attack a fortress. I mean, we've got here 2, 4. I should really put the medium. Yeah, I should give them that heavy artillery as well. Right. Okay, so there's like, what, 5 regiments of heavy artillery here, so 2, 3, and 5, yeah. So that's potentially 5 additional points towards the siege. And that's fairly hefty. Alright. I could actually construct a fighter battalion right now. Or I can construct a few more divisions. I am kind of thinking about a fighter battalion now that I think about it. I know I just said I'm thinking about it, but you know what I mean. Because they take quite a few turns, but I can't keep putting off recruiting new divisions, can I? I think I may have to do it. I may have to do it. Yeah, another 72 guns of heavy artillery there. Excellent. We do actually have some heavy artillery in here. These men actually, yeah, they can take on the artillery there. In fairness, it works out well because as long as I have that artillery support, the better. Ooh, my mouse is actually running out of battery. I'm going to have to sort that later on. Hopefully it lasts long enough. The sooner you get those new divisions, the more useful they are. I know. What can I say, Evil? I'm just committed to the LARP. I haven't raised any state funds either. I know you can even have inflation sunrises where the level of inflation will drop, but you don't have a man of principles. Of sound fiscal policy. Whoops. Oh fuck. Oh yes, I see. Alright, let's see. Let's go ahead and finish up what I was doing over here. I really wish I could give them more supply, but that may be about it. It may be, in fact, about it. Because I am lacking on that supply right now. The fact that it's not an activated commander really just concerned me, but there's not all that much I can do about it. But the fact that he isn't an activated commander is a bit of a pain in the ass, because he's not going to be able to go on the offensive order and take more of that military control there. So that's a bit of a pain in the backside. So what we'll do then is potentially move to Gorokov this turn. But I feel it would be worth waiting for that additional supply here, so I think I will. I'll have it move over here. I can give them additional supply. Hopefully I can turn them into a core commander. If not, I'll find a commander. But I do need more supply. How much is said supply? Let's see. 30 war supply. Okay, that's actually fairly cheap. And that takes 30 days to be ready. I'm just trying to capture these regions here. Or just at least bring them under great military control. We actually do have quite a bit to decide upon this turn. Yeah, the German armies are well equipped with supply. Hindenburg's army is really not. Let's go ahead and have that moved out over here. I do have that. That's going to be moving to... Yeah, I don't actually have that much. Let me take the supplies here. So the army of Hindenburg is good to go. Right, you move in here. Move that there. Hindenburg can gain the balloons. I could also give him some reconnaissance, and I think I will give him reconnaissance. Actually, it doesn't seem to have actually boosted that. Can I only have one level of balloon? I've got the signal here. 52. Did that boost it? No, it didn't boost it. Okay, so I'll just keep them separate then. Keep them safe. Oops. Right, have them there. I'll have them set an offensive posture and then they may attempt to attack the enemy. Is it possible to have a more movement-orientated playstyle instead of the historical war position? And as far as it goes with that question, you can have a war of movement. It's just you've got to manage it. The thing is, once the enemy starts digging in, then casualties really rapidly increase. Alright, let's take out that reserve. Replace that with the frontline infantry, the actual proper infantry. Right, there we are. They'll fight more effectively. I do have a good cavalry commander there. I just ordered somebody else somewhere. I think I did. They're still heading there, okay. Alright. I need to get the munitions and supply into the right places. We need to have like a standard. Yeah, you can see that's boosted our power nicely. We need to have like a standard amount of supply trains attached to an army, a standard amount of munitions attached, and then I can like just make sure I've got everything. Right, I'm missing a pontoon here actually. That would help across some of the rivers. These are good commanders. At least we do have the actual line divisions in here now. The army itself is up to 109,000 men. So let me see. I think I was talking earlier about having a lot of supply to move around. Yeah, like over here. Yeah, it's that it keeps being exhausted, so I need to keep moving. There's not a lot of ammunition inside these. I need to improve the supply network, really. Might be worthwhile to have a depot over here between them on the rail line, just build that up. But we'll get there. I do have a lot of the rail points here that can be moved around. Oh, you need corps commanders. Oh, you've got a lot of supply, in fact. In fact, too much supply. Let's aim... How long would that last? That would be... Yeah, it's not even that much. It's a difficult one, isn't it? I'm going to go ahead and take one. I'm going to aim for like armies to have like maybe 5 supply. 5 supply wagons each. Which is going to take a little bit of organization. Well, they have 5, so that's a good sign. I'm just lacking ammunition. And I think what I'm going to go ahead and do here, actually. I was thinking about having these guys used as... Oh, in fact, I can't have anybody command these colonial troops other than Von Leto, because otherwise I'm going to take a penalty. Alright, okay. It looks like these men are going to head with Von Leto. I can use them as like garrison or something. It's going to be pretty amusing, actually. Alright, let's have the munitions move down here. It's a bit higgledy-piggledy, isn't it? I don't know why it's doing that. They'll be there quicker. It's just not updating for some reason. Right, northern. See, I need ammunition out here. But I also need it when I'm actually advancing. I've got a good solid supply line here at least. Well, I'm right on my supplies. Yeah, there we go, we have the... Hang on a second, do we have additional fighters? Fighters, reconnaissance, reconnaissance, and... Right, okay. It's just so it said Flicker Battalion. But these are the fighters. Yeah, there's a lot of ammunition here, but that makes sense considering I do have the big guns here. I will take some of it though. I'm just... didn't mean to take that. I'm gonna take some from the west. I'm moving in the east where I do need supply. Those men are sitting on top of supplies. going to need... I think what we'll do then is we'll just properly organize who has what soon enough anyhow. This army has well, they have the correct amount of supply, they're just obviously lacking munitions. Munitions will be moving over here to Warsaw in the near future, but it's not here right now. Alright. So, what I'm thinking here then is, I think give the army here an opportunity. I can go ahead and... Well, I can't even have the cavalry move out here without supply. Why is they going to start degrading very rapidly? Alright, what I'll do then is... These men can go with the General Corps. This can move here. I'll take the General Corps. Oops. Right, that can move north. 19 days, my god. Do I have... I don't have. Oops. Right, move forward now. Yeah, we're going to need more supplies. We're just assuredly going to need them. But what we're going to go ahead and do then is... I think I'm going to wait the... wait on the supplies to arrive, give the men more time to recover cohesion. Like so. I'm tempted to send a unit over here to repair the rail line. This is an active unit. The problem is the winter. It'd be ideal to be right on the doorstep of Restotorsk, because it's not just this army, it's all the other armies I could potentially move here then. And it's an interesting one, because I'd like to engage with Rozan, but I can't... I don't know, not that I can't, it's just, is it worth it right now? I just feel like if I move forward I'm going to lose a large amount of cohesion. I think I may in fact have this army moved up over here, because I do actually need a couple more troops, I must admit. Cavalry commander there is quite good. He's a very good commander. I think having another cavalry commander out here would be good, because I can go ahead and go for wide-ranging, deep penetrating strikes, raids into Russia. Or do I have this army sit on top of the fortress here and just besiege it? It'd be there in 12 days. How about I go across here? I'm going to have to assume that they'll go that way. Or maybe they're just going to march directly. Yeah, there you go. 1 day across here, then 11 days marching. But at least they're not having to cross that river. That makes a lot more sense. I'll have the army that took Warsaw moved over here then. They can take the fortress. Or at least they can besiege this fortress. And once the fortress is gone, that's good. I'm kind of in a weird position, because it's like I want to move, but I need to have the men, and I also need to have the supplies. It's a very funny position to be in. Because right now, I'm really not able to move that far. But we do have a fabulously well-equipped Austrian force now, at least with artillery. We'll see. Oh, I know what I can go ahead and do. Let's see. I'll take you. Take that extra militia. I'll have them possibly moved over here, or even moved over here. I'm a little bit over on here. Actually, I don't know if I'm doing anything by doing that. Maybe I'm not doing anything by doing that. I'll just move them along. Oh, not with you. Yeah, move you along there. Have that artillery moved up there. So, one a Rushgar we can turn into a depot as well, would be very nice. Yeah, I'm kind of just held back by supply. But I tell you what I'm going to go ahead and do, rather than build more men, is I'm going to go ahead and recruit free supply trains. So that's about war supply each. Well, they are pretty expensive, 150 each. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Don't get me wrong, it's expensive. But I think at the end of the day, if I'm going to be able to achieve anything, I'm going to have to be able to keep the men well supplied. I do worry about taking munitions away from here, but we'll see. At the end of the day, we have level 4 entrenchments, and the army of Repetchbon Bayern is looking a lot healthier now, which is very good. I do have, or I should have... Where are they? I can fit 2 more regiments of artillery there. I'm going to have 2 regiments of heavy artillery, sorry, medium artillery moved down to Valdemoiselle. They can join with the army of Budapest. That'll take us up to 51 there, and we'll have just shy. We'll have about 650 cannon there directly. We'll obviously then have the heavy guns nearby. I think it's worthwhile having the heavy guns over here under the command of the Crown Prince. I really would have preferred a better commander. Yeah, he's really not a good commander. He's actually reducing my men's fighting ability. He's not a good commander. I really need to have him replaced when I can. Yeah, these are not good commanders. I do have 6 engagement points. I did raise new generals, but they're heading out to the east. I think they're underway somewhere. They're somewhere around here. Alright, so... we're taking these rail lines over here. We are actually already besieging Novgorod, which is actually really nice. The sooner that I have these fortresses, the better. We're in late December here. I'm going to go ahead and get a cavalry corps moving over this way. I'm going to have a cavalry corps moving up here to Cowell soon enough. I think once he starts to see that threat, he's probably going to respond very quickly. In 2 turns I'll have a supply, but in 2 turns I'll be able to move supply around here. I'm going to go ahead and take these regular... I've got the regular infantry and reserve infantry. These militia divisions would really be the very old, or at least the old, maybe former military, more, maybe something of that nature, but again, these divisions were never really intended to fight. They're basically support units. I don't want to get into a position when I'm using them as frontline troops. It's not going to do very well. For example, we have a regular division over here. You note that they have 7 discipline. I have a Jaeger, which is interestingly at 7. I've seen some Jaegers at 8. Oh, this Jaeger's at 8. How interesting. Ah, okay. Yeah, they've taken a little bit of damage there. That's why they're reduced. Okay. But I need to bear that in mind. That discipline is a really big and deciding factor. And should I show you how bad militia is? Let me find some militia and show you how bad they are. What do we have here? That's reserve. Let me take a look at the reserve for an example. Which is a reserve? Right, these are reserve brigades, okay. So note that at 6. Let's take a look at the militia. Militia 4. That's pathetic. We do not really want to be moving forward with that. And I know you guys are going to be thinking in your head, well, he's going to have to build divisions. Yes, you are right. You are right. But I really also need to go ahead and just properly reallocate where my forces are. Like, for example, I have reserve and infantry here. Reserve, infantry, infantry. I need to go ahead and rearrange it so I have the professional frontline infantry with the best armies and go from that. You saw how we were able to build the army of Hindenburg up another 100 points. You know, it's really tempted to go ahead and take supply and have it move to Hindenburg so I can attack here, but I think I'm going to go ahead and hold mine down for now. Those men are moving up there. I've got the opportunity to chase them down, but I'm hoping that it's starving out here, but we'll find out soon enough. I did also have a very good comment regarding just pay the Ottomans. Pay the Ottomans the 500 when you can. And then give them the Goben and the Breslau. Because it's like, obviously, we will have the Ottomans, we'll gain the Goben and the Breslau back. And that argument was a persuasive argument. It was essentially like, look, if you bring the Ottomans in, sure it's going to cost you, but in a couple turns you'll make back what you spent on them. Because they'll offer you additional state funds, manpower, etc. And also, if you could get them in before the British, that would be quite good. So I think what I'm going to go ahead and do here is take from Italy. And I can't afford to send it right now. So I'll send another diplomat back to Romania then. I may save those engagement points. I think you do save them up. I don't think you spend them every time. Oh, some light on funds now. But what I'll probably go ahead and do then is have a diplomat sent to the Ottomans. We'll try and bring them in. And having their industry, or at least what they do have, would be nice. I think I'm going to go ahead and actually have this corps moved elsewhere. It's tempting to move it along this line of axis because I'm a little weaker over here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and reinforce the army of von Bülow. I really don't like being below that. I do have corps commanders moving up out there. I do remember sending them out there. They're somewhere around here. You know what? I really don't know what Romania has. I've only ever fought against the Romanians, never actually had the Romanians under my own command. And so it's going to be rather interesting. I do have 4 engagement points. I think I need 6. I need 3 engagement points, but also 300 state funds to raise additional generals. I could go ahead and grant concessions to... what, Germany? Why Germany? Oh, I'm already granting concessions here, never mind. I can unlock additional fortress guns, which I'm going to go ahead and do. And... I was thinking about this. I'm like, do I really need that fortress? And it's like, in reality, no, not really. I'm going to go ahead and unlock the guns from here. At the end of the day, I have men there. If I lose that position, it's not the end of the world. It just means I have to fight for it. I have the men over here that can rest. So I'm going to go ahead and... I really want... Well, last time I was going to go ahead and cancel that, but I couldn't quite click it to cancel it. It's not a bad thing having the additional artillery here, but I really need... really what I'm trying to do here then is... And the reason why I've been really trying to give the Austrians a bigger leg up as well is that I want to be able to prepare the Austrians to be able to fight alone without the Germans. Really, I just want to have like minimal German support and have the Austrians carry out the war against the Russians. That would enable me then to maybe have like a Russian army to fully, or 2 Russian armies to maybe move on Petrograd. Or something crazy like that. I could even have a German army reinforce the Western Front. Or I could even have a German army sent down here to really just defeat the Serbians quickly. But again, that all comes down to having artillery and having support. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do here maybe is just drop out 1 unit of cavalry just to reduce that. Just to reduce that penalty there. Like my 830. Oh, maybe it's a 2% penalty. Maybe that's not so bad in fairness. Yeah, they need supply. Have that supply... Well, have that munition moved up to Lemberg. I think the biggest point of view here, or at least the biggest lesson is, I need supply to be able to win. I need munitions in order to win. So even though I have all these men, I've got to supply them. And I think that's something that Alex and Plumber are going to find difficult too, or if not more difficult than me. I'm going to go ahead and have you lead them as a corps. I mean, these troops I can't really have effectively commanded elsewhere, so I might as well have them moved over there. It'd be rather amusing. And I can move over additional troops, but at least it does free up more troops. Yeah, at the end of the day, it means I don't have to take troops from elsewhere, so it's not the worst thing in the world, actually. Right, you're going to be moving out shortly. They're moving out. Okay. I can go ahead and try and move the submarines out. And in fairness, having the Austrians at Lemberg does not hurt at all, because it does mean that I have an opportunity to recover strength. I think I have recovered strength in fairness, so we're looking pretty good. But yeah, what we'll do then is in the near future, very near future, is really, really reorganize and properly equip the Austrian army. And then we're good to go. Like all these militiamen and reserves and stuff like that. Reserves I'll probably keep around because they are still good. They're better. They're much better than the militia. But I think I'll have the militiamen move down to just face the Serbians. Because at the end of the day, if they just have to sit in a trench, that's fine by me. I need to give them adequate artillery support, but you know what I mean. They're not frontline troops. They've never been frontline troops, and they should never be frontline troops. I can have this man promoted. Where is this Rudolph? With his red nose. Where am I looking? Right. Austria. Let me find him. Can I search for generals here? You know, I've never actually thought about it. Ah. Right. Jeez, this does not make my life easy. I can go ahead and take a look here then. That's at least something. Oh, Rudolph call. What? Oh, I see. These may be the generals that would be unlocked. Okay, I've never actually seen this before. Interesting. Yeah, I'm assuming this is the general pool then. Interesting, I've never actually seen that. I've really actually never ever looked over here. Wow, this is the first time I've ever looked here. Okay. I never knew you could actually look at who and see who you'd get next. That's actually pretty fantastic. I never knew about that. I never won by one. Interesting. I can't believe I've never looked there. See, this is it. Played this game a couple times now over the course of the years, and I still find things I haven't actually seen before. But that's good. So what I'm going to go ahead and do then is I'm happy as I'm going to be with this. I've got a couple of funds, so I'm going to go ahead and spend them on some replacements, perhaps. I think I don't know, it's a hard one to say here, really. I think continue to try and build up the Austrians. Well, in fairness, actually, I probably want to build a militia. How am I doing with German militia? 25 here. Oh no, I actually require militia, so I do need German militia. So I'll build 5 German militia. And I'll build... I can't afford it right now, but next turn I'll try and build some Austrian militia. Right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do here then is I'm just going to put the thing up here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put the turns into the old save folder here. And we can go ahead and get it going. Would you agree that NATO seems kind of delusional? Would the NATO count it? Or just NATO as a structure? In which case, I'd say like NATO is just, as an organization, amazing. I mean, obviously not everything it does, not everything it's ever done. Not that I fully support anything, but it's like at the end of the day, it just seems like a lot of bang for your buck. Collective security works pretty well, it seems. An interesting question there, really. I don't know, I don't see it ever being a bad thing. I think it does a great job of preventing war. Has it prevented war in Europe? Well, I mean, obviously when it comes to preventing war in Europe, you can't prevent everything. Has it prevented war in Western Europe? I mean, that's what the touts the EU has been a good part of, but I don't know. It's an interesting one, really. On the whole, I'd say it's a good thing. I'd say it's a fantastic thing on the whole. Is it perfect? Doubtful. Interesting question. Right, there we are. So, let me just double check I've got everything here. Look, as far as it goes, literally as far as it goes, we like send. I mean, I'm gonna not answer this in the future because it's a bit topical. But as far as I'm concerned, like sending military equipment to fight the Russians. There are. I mean, this is it. This is like a Russian. So this is a foreign power. This is obviously a belligerent power in the form of Russia that is invading the Ukraine. To me, it seems like the most cost-effective use of the budget ever to send equipment there. It just I can't see a better situation. It's just like you're literally using the equipment for what it was designed for, built for. It's doing a good job, as far as I'm concerned. Right, okay, but yeah, we'll not answer on that one. So that's a bit of an odd one. Didn't expect to give an opinion on that one, but I know very little, so don't take my opinion as anything other than just being an opinion. It's just an opinion, so it's not an informed opinion. But yeah, we'll leave it as that. Okay. We'll go ahead and move into the turn resolution here. Apologies about the turn taking a little bit longer to go through, but that is okay. Right. I'm not really going aggressive anywhere right now, but I need to just recover my forces and just gather force. So we'll see how it goes this turn. I'm not expecting a lot. Sure, JK. I appreciate the boldness of asking a question. It's a good question. There's not a thing in this damn world that shouldn't be questioned. Right, looks like he's trying to break from Monarushka. He may in fact be able to flee there. You need to have a very good patrol rate and be able to stop enemy forces from leaving. Or at least to try and prevent them from leaving. So we do see him. Forces are. Oh, yeah, there we go. Wow, okay. Yeah, so our cavalry arrived there. Yeah, look at that. I was thinking, wow, how did the cavalry do so well? It's because they had the support of the forces there. Yeah, so we did manage to fight the Russian corps here there. So they lose 6,500 for our 246. Well, 200-ish. About 400. It looks like they're prevented from leaving. Forces arrive at Nancy. He continues to build up there. We see a corps arrive there. Seeing the French submarines over here. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move my own submarines out. We'll try and see how that goes. Again, a very quiet turn here. I'll take care there, JK. Have a good one, my man. But again, as far as it goes with the NATO question, I don't really know enough to make an informed decision. My history undergraduate was on modern Chinese history, and even that doesn't prepare me very well to answer questions on that. So I'd say that was my opinion. Take with a heavy pinch of salt. Oh, here we are, so we're now in Early January 1915, ladies and gentlemen. The Great War saw a gradual advancement in the technology of warfare, heralding a new age of aircraft, tanks, and ever larger heavy artillery. Research is monitored on the research off-map area, where indicators represent the progress made for each alliance. Click on the arrow below to navigate. Yeah. Research is conducted at alliance level, Western Entente, Central Powers, and Eastern Entente. To the right of the off-map diplomacy regions, you will see 3 areas depicting research progress for each of these alliances. The Western Entente and the Central Powers have 6 categories of research, while the Eastern Entente have 5. You may hover over a research category to learn more about its effects, which we know about. On each research icon, you will see a number ranging from 1 to 4. Yeah, that indicates a level there, really. Research progresses slowly for each side without any effort spent, but you can also provide a substantial boost of research out on the 1st of January 1915. Right, so this is where we can start to invest in our research and start to move that forward there. How you doing there, Salty? Well, we just resolved the turn. We're now in early January of 1915. We had a very, very quiet turn. At the end of the day, it's just neither of us, myself, nor Alex, nor Plumber. There's not much we can really do with the winter. His forces continue to remain over here, which is very, very interesting. Like, I'm honestly quite surprised he hasn't attempted to move away from there. It is very interesting. Right, so we do have Novo... I don't know, maybe New Georgia, however you want to pronounce that, under siege now. Will not last that long. Haven't inflicted any hits over here. You can see that we are taking supply hits. Sorry, we are taking... cohesion hits. Good God, we are taking cohesion hits. Yeah, we are... And this is what I was thinking about when we do move out. If we were to move out this turn, is just the cohesion loss just may be too great. Here we go. So we do have a couple options over here. Like, for example, I could recognize the Bulgarian war goals, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do it. In the aftermath of the Balkan Wars, Bulgaria found itself isolated, surrounded by hostile neighbours and deprived of the support of the great powers, especially Russia, France and Russia. Initially, Bulgaria declared its neutrality, but as the war progressed, the Central Powers found themselves in a better position to fulfill Bulgarian demands at the expense of other Balkan powers. We're not going to do that. I could grant concessions to Italy, but it would piss off the Austrians. Italy was normally part of the Central Powers alliance, but opted for neutrality upon the outbreak of war. Since its territorial ambitions lay within the borders of Austria-Hungary, this option allows Austria-Hungary to cede the Italian portions of its land to Italy to gain its support, but at a high cost in home support for the Austrian government and the Central Powers. So this event going to be played if Italy's a neutral nation. It's such a cost. Italy shifts 25% alignment towards Central Powers. Italy gains South Tyrol and Istria. Austria loses minus 25% alignment in all regions. Central Power loses 10 national morale and 500 VP. Losing 10 national morale is really, really a lot. That is a lot. I'm going to need national morale in the future. Yo, Teddy. We do have Bola Pasha. Okay. Bola Pasha, originally named Paul Bolo, was a Frenchman who was a Levantine financier and a traitor and a German agent. He led a life of adventure, circumnavigated the globe and engaged in various curious occupations, participated in many shady schemes. So he cost me 250, but I could gain a spy unit. Interesting. I don't know. I don't think I've actually used that. We do have Matahari. Emgrid. Better known by the stage name, Matahari was a Dutch exotic dancer, courtesan and accused spy who was executed by a firing squad in France under charges of espionage with Germany during the Great War. So, available after January 1st, 1915, if enemy recruits first, you will not be able to use this event. I don't really know much about spies actually, but it could be worthwhile to have them. These are where we have the opportunity to invest cash in research. I may choose to print state funds for this then. I don't want to fall behind in research, and if I can actually be ahead, that'd be very powerful. So essentially I could spend 250 here and move 75 points in artillery research, and that was that. Okay. So we did just have the only battle being at Wararushka. But again, yeah, it looks like they are pinned in here, which is good for me. Yeah, a lot of artillery arrived as well, it seems, so they chose a poor time to attack. I may in fact go ahead. Is he able to be activated? Any of these men activated. And the problem is he's a fast-moving and he's a very good commander. In fact, he could actually be an aide-de-camp. He does have a strategic rating of 4. So I could actually go ahead and have him assigned to Conrad von Hotzendorf. And he provides an additional command point then to the army. As an aide-de-camp. Right, what I'm going to go ahead and do here then. Perhaps I give him another commander here. Good army administrator. I was thinking maybe that'd give me additional points there. It just increases recovery rate. I'm okay, actually. Alright. Now, he's an active commander. What I'll go ahead and do then is, let's see. Kraus is still leading here. This is a very, very elite cavalry unit. These guys over here have a lot of experience. Yeah, these are very experienced troops there. 5 stars of experience. Very good troops. Right, so I've been able to equip them. I tell you what, another potential here is... Yeah, he's active commander. Okay. I may go ahead and just have him given these men. If I move you in here, right, you supersede him as commander. Okay, so Kraus can join them afterwards. But for now, I'm going to have this stack move this way. They're going to go ahead and move and take command of the rail lines and continue moving up this way. I'll have you join the army here. You'll be of great use. At the end of the day, once I move them up there, I can have him rejoin shortly enough. Let's go ahead and move in some artillery here. This army's crying out for artillery. Another 2 regiments of medium artillery, I should say. I'll have you, in fact, moved over here with the artillery, just so you can remain here, then. Okay. So we actually do have more artillery in the army now. We were definitely lacking that beforehand, so that's a good thing to have there. We do have military control enough to use the rail lines over here, which is great. I can go ahead and have this corps moved over here to Lemberg. This corps over here has taken enough military control for me to be able to do the same. So I'm going to go ahead and have the Austrians move through. It's a very good thing actually now. It means that the rail lines are now connected. If I go like this, yeah, you can see that we do have rail connections here. So I can go ahead and move those troops as I wish. They're 4 days out. They're not moving very quickly, are they? You can see that cohesion's already dropped. I think, to be honest, what I'm better off doing here, then, is just dropping the infantry and the artillery. Have you just lead the cavalry. They should be very effective on supply, then. Yeah, 4 days now. They're not activated, but at the end of the day. Yeah, they're only going to use about 7 points of supply per turn. They may be able to forage as well. What I can go ahead and do then is have these men actually within the fortress itself. They'll recover that cohesion and any hits, but they haven't got any hits. But they'll recover cohesion pretty quickly, so that's quite good. Alright. Men over here. I do have a little supply. Okay. Where did the Russian cavalry go? Did they make it back over here? I've actually genuinely lost sight of them. Interesting. Right, let's see. You can merge back in here. Oh, I do have the other commanders that arrived over here. And of course, oh, this one's active, thankfully. Right, we'll have that commander there. Could do with a couple more men out here. Okay. In fact, that's actually a pretty powerful corps. Why is that so powerful? They have a division. These are reserve divisions. Okay. What I'm going to go ahead and do here then with the 10th Corps. I do worry about what he could do here. But I think at the end of the day, he has his army strength over here. We'll see. How is the enemy looking on morale and the like? 83, 87. He's really taking a hit to the morale. We had very few losses here, actually. So let's see. Oh, wow, look at that. We had our support increase in Romania, Bulgaria, and even in Holland. So we're at 53 again in Holland. That's where we were when we started, so don't get too excited. We're at 13% here. Russia's not doing anything. Alex is continuing to raise funds, concessions, etc. I need to bring Austria back in line with concessions too eventually. Actually, Bulgaria's at 70%, but it doesn't actually seem that it's activated. But it should be activated. We're at 70%, so I guess maybe next turn we'll see if it's activated. But the good news is we have Romania moving too. So Romania's at 80%. The Ottomans are at 76%. Moving quickly. So we'll have Romania very soon. We'll have Romania, the Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria within 1915. That's going to be great. If I could get the Dutch, that'd be amazing. Oh, new conscripts have been called into service for the year, so we're now up. Yeah, we gained 1,200 conscripts there, that's good. Okay, that's very useful there. There we go. Rape of Belgium is no longer valid and has been removed from the event options. Interesting. Yeah, we can push on here. New army generals have been appointed and wait command in Berlin. New army generals have been appointed and wait command in Vienna. Oh, that's really handy then. So I've actually gained new generals without having to pay for them. That's very useful. I wonder if you gain them at the start of each year then. But that's actually really good timing. I did need them. So they're just generic commanders. Well, I say generic, they're probably based on actual commanders. They're just not the best. Right, I do have support units I've just finished off over here. So I can go ahead and have them move to the front line in the near future. These guys take a long time, but they'll be ready by next turn. Okay. These are the commanders I sent south maybe 2 turns ago or so. Yeah, we have quite a few here. Move them to command these men. Yeah, both of them are active. That's really handy. So that means I can have all these men taken under proper command. Right, there we go. And this is what I mean, like, this is a army of 70,000 men, but it's just militia. It's not very effective, but it is great for numbers. I decided to go ahead and actually move transportation, riverine transports down here, just before when we want to move around. It may be a little bit easier. But really, the fortress guns over here would do a lot of damage. Right, speaking of fortress guns, I do have another brigade there of heavy artillery. So we'll move that to Lemberg. I should probably move more supply to Lemberg, or at least increase the supply depot size. It looks like there is enough there. It's just ammunition being moved over there is just not a lot. But it's well connected. It's a decently large city. Alright, the Russians have just been remaining static here. Right, we have some munitions that are building up here. Okay. I need to go ahead and reorganize the fleet. But what I can go ahead and do, if I take a look, I've got the Marine Brigade here. So merge it with the Corps there of Bonletto. Merge... Ooh, didn't mean to merge you. Oh, they couldn't actually go aboard. That's okay then. Right, I just need munitions. I suppose I don't really have all that much in the way of artillery, but it would help quite a lot to have that nonetheless. Can I can't. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here then is, if I grab you and grab as many of these as I can. Oh, I can do all but one then, okay. Then if I combine them... I think it technically has that. Maybe there's a maximum that you can have. Marine Brigade in there. The Marines do... Oh, okay, this ability applies to all elements of a unit that this element is in. Okay, so it only applies to the actual Marine Brigade itself, and I suppose that does make sense. But that's good then, so that means that we have a Marine Brigade. Well, we have a Marine Division. So he's a little over, so I could... oh, he's actually above 12, so the question comes down to, is it worth it to move? Because I could have that conscript... well, I could have the colonial army moved over here and fight. To be honest, I may have them ditched. If they're not worth it, I'll have them ditched. They have Iron Will, though. Fucking hell, they're actually pretty good. Alright, okay. Wow, that's a lot of discipline. Alright, okay. How do they compare to, like, actual noble divisions? So we've got 1521 there, discipline 9. They're a little, just a little bit poorer, but they actually have more discipline than the average infantry brigade there. Alright, so they're not actually that bad. They're not bad, actually. The question is, do I have... I think I'll take the Marines aboard, along with me, actually. Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, we could go ahead and actually have that go ahead this turn. What is the weather like? The weather is harsh weather over here. Snow. We've got deep cold over here. In the west, we've got harsh weather. Mud over here. Oh, down here we've got a lot of harsh weather. Yeah, we've got... yeah. Except over here where it's actually okay. Yeah. He's not been active really over here in Africa. Not really active over here in Asia. Eventually will be. Right, I should have my... yeah, Maximilian von Spies arrived. To be honest, I'm probably going to have to print state funds because I don't think I actually have enough to do everything. So I may have to take the bullet. It's a shame. I don't know. Maybe I'll try and find a way out. Alright, let's see. So we're besieging Evangarage. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's a good point there, Evil Twin. It does depend, really. We don't have to do it immediately, so it's a good point. It's... it's an interesting one, really. If we do it too early, it does kind of give it away. It could be wise to do it before the British join, in case the British Navy moves into the Baltic. But it could be worth doing it now. But I don't know, it depends, because it could move up an army here to help sink you relatively quickly. I think probably what we want to go ahead and do then is maybe do it at the beginning, just before the campaigning season begins. And what I mean by that then is if I can go ahead and put pressure on him with my... I need to wait then for a point at which I can put pressure on him with the armies. I think once I have the German army and the Austrian army ready to move, then I can go ahead and... oh, I can see Teddy being annoying. He's so cute, you should really see him. He's like maybe 1 or 2 feet tall. He's like a little dwarf. And he does this thing, when he wants to go on a walk, he starts like being annoying on purpose. He's cute. He's really cute. So I'm going to go ahead and take him on a walk shortly, actually. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at things then. So things are getting better and better for the Austrians. I think our power's increasing. I don't really... I'm going to have to go ahead and take a look at this. Like, I need to really write down the combat power, because that's going to give me an idea of how things are changing. But I mean, this is it. If I could go ahead and move on Petrograd, I'd be able to just... Yeah, he's really close. Like, he's down to 83 morale. Once he goes to 75 morale, the Tsar takes command. And then it's like at that point I could start playing things to really make his day worse. If I could get to Petrograd, that would be a huge, huge take. Really, the name of the game here is I move over here, I take this fortress, I try and take Helsinki, but if I could actually remove the mines over here, I could then even have men moved to like something like Viborg, or even just land the men over here at Helsinki and then just march on Petrograd. Taking Helsinki would be the biggest gain. Really, I mean, this is it. I just take the mines out, I can move to Helsinki. I could even move over here, but if I move to Helsinki, it means I've got a rail line. As long as I move down here, I've got a rail line. That is a huge one. It's going to be a very, very important deal. At the end of the day, like, he has men over here. Well, this is this is like the capital then. He can move men relatively easily to Petrograd, so I've got to do it at a point in time where it's going to cause him to be stretched. It's going to cause him stress. Right, let's take a look over here then. So we've got a good deal more supply that's arrived over here. Even additional troops have been moved up over here. Yeah, we've got a cavalry corps. I'll go ahead and detach. I'll detach the... Do I need to give them Pontuna? I actually don't need to. They just need to march down the road there. Now, he's a fast mover. And he's a cavalry commander. 4-3. I do have a lot of good commanders. 4-2-2. Okay. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do then is take Lincoln. While he's a cavalry commander, this guy can march faster. What is the speed coefficient? Essentially, what is the speed of the cavalry here? The cavalry are really interesting. Like, they've got really good assault damage, I'd say. I think that's probably where they beat infantry. I've never actually taken a close look at that. But I've got to assume it's something to do with that. Where's their mobility? Evasion, obviously there. Movement light makes a difference. Their speed fast. Doesn't really give you like a great indication of what they're like, but yeah, I could assume that it's probably that they're quick. I think 2 supply wagons would probably be enough. Oops. Right, let's see. Do I have any additional cavalry I could give him? Maybe not. Right, so what we'll go ahead and do then is have him move out here. So I just need to move here. 15 days, excellent. And with that, I can move through here. I don't technically even have to move on the offensive order there. Don't really have to do that, but I need to be here. But what we could go ahead and do then is cut that rail line. And in fairness, if I can do that without being harassed, I could even move on Pinsk. And then if I got Cowell, sorry, then make his life even worse. I think at the end of the day, I'm just going to try and trap the Russian armies over here. We're in a very, very interesting situation right now. Because of the poor weather, we currently see one Russian... There's about 4 Russian armies that we know of. There's an army over here. He's going to come to regret that in the near future, but we'll have to make him realize that. He could actually spring a number on me. I've got to bear that in mind too. But yeah, we know there's a Russian army here. We know there's probably a Russian army around this area that we've been beaten back, but it's recovered that strength, I'd imagine, by now. But I'm hoping that I can have Conrad in great enough strength and well enough supported that we can really throw a big old wrench in the works there. Alright, there we are. Okay. Having that artillery over here is very nice. We do have the other artillery regiment over here. And we do have... There should be a second artillery regiment ready too. It's not that one. Not that one either. Oh, by the way, once level of entrenchment reaches, I think it's about 5, they can start to bombard passing ships, so even in fortresses where I've taken away artillery, I could still have artillery dig in. Oh, after level 4, I don't think the effectiveness of the trenches increases as such. It's more so increases the attack power of... well, it increases the power of artillery. I think after that it does increase again. But not at 5, I don't think. We'll be finishing off here shortly enough as well, actually. Let's see. Received unit. Yeah, our units on the field took a total of 3 replacements. I bet we probably use all of our German militia replacements, in fact. Was it just the 1? I thought I was due 2. Unless there's been some sort of delay, actually. Let me go ahead. It should be about 3. I'm seeing 4 then, so I guess it has been delayed there. Yeah, Frankfurt and Mainz. There's always a bit of a weird glitch here. Not too sure. But I guess one of them was delayed then, it seems. Looks like it actually didn't go out there. It's interesting. But you can see, I don't know. You know, when it comes to replacements, it seems like I bought these and I don't see it ticking down. But I see the amount there. I don't know. I think we're doing okay. Or maybe I'm just like really overestimating how many replacements you need. Did I fly any fighter missions? Probably not. Really quiet turn, in all honesty. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at our options then. So these are our political options right now. So I can gain a spy, but again, it always demands engagement points. I'm not entirely sure how it works with spies. I've got to imagine that they're probably quite good, but I'm not fully sure. Could invest here for additional boost in research. I can go ahead and just directly invest here in research. Yeah, you can see that it's not as efficient. The thing is, I mean, when it comes down to it, it's going to be a race towards gas, and currently the Entente is actually ahead there. And it is a massive problem, because it's like, he could use gas against me. If I don't have gas, it's going to be bloody. It's really going to be bloody. And whoever has gas first is going to use it. And once, like, gas is used, it's going to be horrific. I'm going to lose a lot of men. He's going to lose it. I don't know. Whoever uses gas first is going to cause a humongous amount of losses there. It is kind of scary. It really is kind of scary. And there's not that much I can do about it. Like, gas, the first time it's used is the most effective. After that, its ability diminishes slowly. Well, diminishes by degrees, but oh god, the first time it's used is going to be massively painful. And I feel like Alex is going to I don't know, it's a bit of an arms race really, isn't it? Because it's like, if I can get gas first and I have gas, it means I can use it. But because I have gas, it means that if I don't use it, I don't know. Yeah, hello Geneva Convention. Yeah, I know, right? But seriously, it is scary. It is quite scary. I'd honestly prefer to invest in... If I invest in artillery, I gain trench mortars, which are great, don't get me wrong, and improved field artillery multiple trench penetration capability, which would be quite nice. Infantry, helmets and uniforms, obviously increasing the protection values of our infantry would be nice. Gas, my god. Aviation interrupter gear, new air fighter model, high rate fire. Tanks will obviously take a long time to get to. Having submarines would be very useful, but the fact that he has gas there is very scary. Really scary. Is he following me? It looks like he might be. Hard to say. I don't know. It is actually quite terrifying. Honest to God, it is terrifying because it's like he could like I don't know. The problem is, it's like these positions over here are well defensible. Like they have the advantage of being hills, so even if he uses gas, it's like I can still defend them relatively well. The problem is like over here is just forest, and then here is just clear. Even if I withdrew from Valdevazel, I'd still have to deal with clear somewhere. It's a problem. Now that we do actually have supply stockpiled here, which means that we can perform so much better. I don't know. I love how even the supply trains have experience. I wonder how that works for them. Yeah, I agree, Evil. I mentioned that maybe an episode or two ago about trying to construct defense in depth. And I will try to get around that. I hate to say it, but I need divisions. Yeah, this army is suffering from the foul weather there and exhaustion. 27 hits is quite a lot. Now this is firmly part of the supply network, so that's at least something. I don't know, how long is the poor weather going to last? It's probably going to last into the... at least another month or two, I think. It's going to be pain. It's going to be pain, just nothing but pain. Let's go ahead and just take a look at how we're doing then so far. So, for example... Really, it's gone fairly well, I think. Or at least it's gone decently well. We're in a very interesting position, because it's like as soon as I can get to Brest-Litovsk, or even cut his ability to retreat from Brest-Litovsk, I've got the Russian army in like a pretty good position. I've got like a Russian army that I really don't know how they're doing. I've got to wonder how they're doing in terms of strength. I've got to wonder as well. I mean, this is a problem here, because of the foul weather, the harsh weather. I'm not really flying reconnaissance. So I'm not too sure. I'm surprised that he hasn't moved over this way. I'm also surprised I haven't seen cavalry over here. I really don't like having Rennenkampf over here. I really don't like that. It's there to keep me in check, but I just don't like the fact that has that force there. I really want Minsk. If I get Minsk, I'm going to be very happy there. That size 10 city with size 2 depot. Also having the munitions factory would be amazing. So I'm getting some... I also do need to spend on munitions production. But do you guys know what time it is? It is Mr. XTRG, Mr. Excellent Random Gamer's obsession. It's time to build more heavy artillery. Oh my god, I still have artillery. That's fucking beautiful, man. Like, there's got to be equivalent here. You know, like how you have the guy from the Vietnam film saying, like, oh, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Fucking hell, there's going to be like German guys saying, I love the smell of heavy artillery in the morning. I love the smell of howitzers in the morning. Fucking hell. You could... Jesus, that's a lot of artillery. And the thing is, it's like I haven't been building up divisions, but I've been building up that artillery, which has been increasing our combat power. Yeah, exactly. Those poor German conscripts just begging to be called up. Exactly. Let's go ahead and take these divisions here. And I have a sweet set of... Right, okay, so I have 3 corps here, entirely equipped with heavy artillery. Yeah, so please think of the conscripts. Oh my. I don't really want to have conscripts in the army. Well, I'm a little over that. Except when I do that. Still technically over there. Do you have enough ammo? I mean, that's going to be the question there. I can't really say how much ammunition they use. I need to look into that. I think we've got enough ammunition stockpiled for maybe a campaign season. And I think that's probably about it. But like as I've said a few times, I'm kind of stockpiling enough artillery that I can win the battle. And if I win the battle and inflict enough casualties upon the enemy, then there's probably not going to be a subsequent battle, at least in the west. My mouse is complaining about battery run out. I'm going to find something to charge it with. But we'll be drawing the stream to a close here, then I believe. In just a few moments, honestly. I think we're doing pretty well. I think we are. And to say the challenges that we had in the west, my god. Oh, there we go, yes. Excellent. Okay, so max entrenchment is now level 5 on the Western Front, level 4 for the Western Entente. Oh, interesting. Oh. Oh, are you telling me? Are you telling me that I have access to level 5 entrenchment, and he doesn't? Because that's kind of what it seems to say there. Max entrenchment is now level 5 on the Western Front, level 4 for the Western Entente, level 2 on the Eastern Front and the Balkans, and level 1 elsewhere. Does that mean, dear sir, that I have access to level 5? It would seem so. Fuck me, that's good. Now, level 5 doesn't actually increase the defense or anything of the troops. It's like, as I mentioned earlier, it increases the effectiveness of the artillery. Oh, that'd be great. Wow. I'm really eager to see how that works. Yeah, dig them holes deep. Yeah, we will. We definitely will dig them deep. But that means then that artillery is actually going to be even more effective. And what have we been investing in so heavily? Artillery. I love how that rhymes. I also love the fact that I've got 5 heavy artillery regiments over here. Am I missing one? Is there one of them that's shy? Everybody has a shy kid. Yeah, there's even 2 artillery regiments here. Oh yes, because one of them's moving out. Excellent. Sheesh. I need a better commander for this guy. The Crown Prince is just not good. I really need to change them round if I can. And I've got 2 heavy regiment. Yeah, I've got 2 regiments of heavy artillery over there. Actually, I need to go ahead and send these men some artillery. I'll go ahead and have them send this medium artillery over here. And it's kind of a shame that they don't have it. I really do want to have heavy artillery concentrated. But to be honest, you can imagine when we actually do come to besiege an enemy forts, we'll be able to blast through them. And in fairness, there is a move. And it's a move I've been thinking about. And it would be like to move upon Apollon. Because if I could get into the fortress there, it gives me an opportunity to actually take the fortress. If I take the fortress, I don't know, there's a core there. But if I could sit on top of it and force him to have to do something, that could be good. But if I concentrate all my heavy artillery out there, then it means he'll just hit me elsewhere. So it could be that we just... Maybe we just go... Maybe it's not a wise idea to have every bit of heavy artillery concentrated in one army, unless that's the army that's on the offensive and supported by other armies anyway. Maybe I just try and spread out the amount of heavy artillery I have, just so we have it in abundance everywhere, really. That's probably a wise idea. Yeah, smart people do that sort of stuff. Okay. Have munitions and supply moving up there. Okay. So this army is going to suffer over here at Vanguard. We'll have an army suffer out here at Novo New Georgia, I'm just going to say. And then, once we have that, we'll be in a good position. The army of Hindenburg has actually recovered even more. That's very nice to see. Don't spread out, you say there, Master. That's a good... It's a tough one. Yeah, okay, fair enough. You can't let everyone go without artillery, force concentration. Yeah, that's true. And this is it. It's like, I'd love... I mean, if we had that heavy artillery on the Eastern Front, there could have been an alternate thing here that I'd done, which was to have all that heavy artillery move to the Eastern Front. And you can imagine I'd really be making a lot with that heavy artillery on the Eastern Front. But I think at the end of the day, I can manage the Eastern Front without having to use all that heavy artillery. I can win the Eastern Front without it, because I just have so much in the way of force. I can match the Russians. But the Western Front is the front that I really need to remain static. But the great news is then, so next time we'll have that... Oh, let's take a look at the Northern Army. Yeah, the Northern Army is almost fully recovered now. That's really good. It has taken a rather scarily long time, though, to do so. And I tell you what, actually, he would be a better commander for the army at Valdemoiselle. Yes, he really actually would be, because... to be honest, I really need to have another CNC. I need to look up how the mechanics work. Whether I move him to that theatre, he becomes a CNC of that theatre. But I'm kind of thinking about having Hindenburg move to become the CNC of the Western Front. I don't know if I can do that. I'm not too sure. But anyhow, Max von Bahn, however you want to pronounce it, would be a very good commander. I think he'd be a fine commander for the army of Valdemoiselle. Because then he turns... Well, he increases... I mean, to be fair, repression does actually give... Oh, yeah, look at that. He gives additional 2 quality anyway. An additional command point. So I could have... Von Vian, I don't know, maybe around here somewhere. In a position where he could respond to as much as possible, really. But I could go ahead and take these guys that already have, like, 9 discipline. Have Max lead the army. That takes them up to 10 discipline. And I think that means that we'll have a good time with things. Are you talking about the army of Mademoiselle? Currently I don't have good information over here, but I'm hoping that that's the same for him. I have a lot of aircraft over here, so I'm hoping... Oh, you mean over here with Rail? Yeah, at Nancy. Yeah, he's been concentrating his forces at Nancy. What I'm thinking about doing in the near future, or at least when we have the opportunity, I did make a comment actually regarding the plan for the Eastern Front, and like I mentioned earlier on in this actual stream, I'm trying to prepare the Austrian army to be able to handle the Russians with minimal, or at least more subdued German support. Maybe like reduce the amount of armies out here by maybe 2 or so, and then have those moved over to the Western Front. And what I'd like to try and do is like hold the Western Front here, and then begin to build up forces of something like Trier, and then be able to move in through Luxembourg, and then kind of blast in through here at Longwy, and then kind of move this way, kind of like open up the front, break the deadlock, and try and do something there. Like if I could move up over here and try and roll down his forces, perhaps. It's a bold strategy there, Cotton. But yes, I know what you mean, like attacking where he's actually concentrated his men and try and inflict. If I can get gas, sure, we could probably go for that. But I'd like to also have additional forces from the east. So the focus really does have to be on bringing the Russians down as soon as possible, really. Yeah, the Ardennes plan, yeah, pretty much. But because of how things work right now, it's like I have military control over here in Luxembourg. But Luxembourg's actually not part of the war. Well, yeah, that's true, that evil. I mean, this is like the plan for the future, really. I mean, alternatively, I could always invade through Belgium. But it comes to the point of, like, he's going to have, like, two armies, at least two armies over here that can respond to that. But if I could go ahead and just, like, maximize the amount of force I can push in here, having Luxembourg means I can actually move through and take control of these rail lines and actually use said rail lines. But what I'm thinking is, to be honest, it's going to be difficult because he's going to have the British by that point. But I'm just hoping by the time that we're taking the east down, I'm going to be in a position where I can overwhelm him. The good news is that the Romanians will be joining in 1915, as will the Bulgarians, as will the Ottomans. Ideally, I can get the Greeks in the future too. But once they do join, I'll be able to finish Serbia. I think I'll have Bulgaria face against Serbia, have Romania potentially offer some support, but I think I'm going to have Romania more or less concentrate against the Russians. Yeah, that's frozen over there. These are frozen over. I think that's what we'll go for. I'm probably going to have to grit my teeth and probably print some state funds, as much as I would hate that. There's a lot of things I need to be doing, really. But the good news is we have Bulgaria there at center of center, we have Romania. Romania's going to be in soon. Romania's going to be in before the Ottoman Empire, actually. Unless I go ahead. And to be fair, it might in fact be worth it. What are we at now? 76%, okay. If I give them the 500 state funds, they're going to be at 86%. If I give them the Gulbin and the Breslov, they're going to be at 96%. Obviously, in each of those turns. If I do that, we'll have the Ottoman Empire in 4 turns. Yeah, I'll send Mannerheim to Belgrade. So if I go for a plan of where I send these funds to the Ottomans, and somebody did make a good point about, like, well, if you give the Gulbin and the Breslov to the Ottomans, it's not as if you're losing it. It's just you're giving it to the Ottomans. And obviously you're going to have the Ottomans. It strengthens the Ottoman Navy. And I did kind of think, like, at the end of the day, if I do have the entire German Navy, what can I do with that? But because I'm not in... I'm not in Africa, I'm not in Asia. I'm not in any of those areas there, so the British can concentrate their entire fleet as well. So as much as I'd love to go and try and break the blockade, I'm not too sure I can manage it. I'm hoping where our Finland move is going to be interesting. The problem, I don't know, if I can try and force the Russian fleet to battle, that'd be interesting. But if I could try to avoid fighting the Russian fleet at all, that'd be even better. Okay. But we'll think about that. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the point as well. If I can bring the Ottomans in 4 turns, then it means I can bring them in before the British join. It means I can have forces over here established. This rail's not been constructed, yeah. Will be possible from 1916. Hey, didn't that load Luba? You finally caught up. For now. I did see you wish list to end all wars there, Luba, so, you know, I can see that you're liking the game. You wish listed that on Steam today, hey? Yeah, as you can see here, if we could actually prepare our forces in El Arish, then I could be in a position to maybe make a move towards, like, Port Said and to the Suez ultimately. Cairo's quite nice. Also, I wanted to ask, what are the difficulties of encircling Russians near the Romanian border? Ooh, the War of the East to move. This is something that we wanted to do. Before the weather changed and before the weather worsened, that was going to be the plan. Konrad von Hotzendorf was going to be moving down there at full speed to encircle that Russian army. And I still want to go ahead and do that. I may try and make a greater move towards it. And the fact that he has his aircraft over here is still very bold. But we'll see. Giving them to the Ottoman means 2 of your best battle cruisers. Well, to be fair, it's just 1 battle cruiser. It's just 1 battle cruiser. And 2 armoured cruisers. Or technically, yeah, it's technically 2 armoured cruiser. The Eisenhower and... No, wait, yeah, I think it's the Eisenhower and the... I don't know, it's definitely... Fuck, I forgot their names now. The Goberg? Goberg and Breslov? Something like that. I forgot their names now. Yeah, either way. And also importantly, have the units raised up in that area before the bridge can get there in force. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I can have the Ottomans on the European side here, just... Well, to be fair, the Ottomans aren't going to be threatened over here at all, but I can go ahead and have the Austrians move here to Constantinople, link up with the Ottoman fleet, and maybe threaten them here. Yeah. Like, we were going to go ahead and do that. If you've seen the streams, then you know we were going to do that, and then the weather turned. What I'm doing right now is just essentially waiting for munitions and supply to arrive here in numbers sufficient enough for me to just have an army out in the field for a significant length of time. Like our munition stock here, our munition capacity is actually very low. We're at 32% of the maximum. Yeah, we're just not getting the ammunition over here. I may have to go ahead and construct a munitions factory over here at Lemberg just to ensure that we have munitions, but we'll see how that matters in the future. But we'll go ahead and call it off here. So I'd like to say a big thank you for everybody watching, and I do hope to see you guys in the future. Goban and Breslau, what does is this. In theory, Goban and Breslau would just move to the Ottoman Navy. I tell you what would be a better idea? Maybe we keep it hidden. This is the last thing. Sorry about Evil. I know you said goodbye already, so I'm just gonna go in a minute. But what I'm thinking about is maybe we don't give the game away. Maybe I wait and spend, like, give them the gold and give them the Goban and the Breslau in the same turn. Yeah. I could maybe send a diplomat to the Ottomans, but I could just, if I wait 2 turns, they'll move up to. To be fair, I need 4 turns anyway, don't I? I think what I'll do then is hold off on a major diplomat. I'd be tempted to hold off on a minor diplomat in fairness. And in fairness, I do have Bulgaria at 70. I'm going to leave a diplomat over here to Bulgaria just to make sure I get our pro-central powers. I could technically pull out from Romania if I wanted to. And spend those points elsewhere, but we'll think about that. I don't know. But either way, it might be worthwhile saving the points and then going for 20% shift in a single turn. Does it? I don't think it works out any sooner, does it? Anyway, we'll think about it. Yeah, something like that, Luba. I'm thinking maybe try and just shock both of Alex and Plumber with the arrival of the Ottomans. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, they're going to know about the Ottomans are coming anyways. I don't know. Maybe I think either way, what I want to go ahead and do then is when I know I'm going to get the Ottomans in like a turn or something, just like have the fleet, the Imperial fleet, like already sailing towards Constantinople there. How you doing there, Bespin? Well, you come just at the end of the stream, but what we'll go ahead and do is give a quick summary. But you do have to subscribe. That's the exchange here actually. But this is the To End All Wars game. It's a game by AGEOD. It is a simultaneous resolution game. So we both issue orders, and then the orders happen and resolve at the same time. Turns are in the space of 15 days. I'm playing as the Central Powers, which is currently made up of the German Empire and the Austrian Empire. We're trying to move in a number of ways to gain different nations in the Central Powers here. Yes, you do. You've got quite a playlist to catch up on. But you've got to subscribe. That's the deal there. And currently I'm holding off in the West. I opted for a plan of not invading Luxembourg and Belgium, which has meant that the British haven't yet joined the war. We're in 1915 and the British have not yet joined. Who knows how that's going to play out? I'm hoping in my favour. We opted for war plans where we did focus upon bringing the Russian juggernaut down. And it's been going fairly well so far. We've taken the majority of Poland, or at least, yeah, the majority of Poland that matters. We're putting a plan in place right now to try and prevent the escape of the Russian armies over here, so we can go ahead and soundly defeat the Russians there. Oh, Monkey. What a great name. Everyone's joining just as I'm finishing off here. Yeah, go ahead and check out the playlist. You'll be able to enjoy it from the start. It's good to have you, Monkey. But I am going to have to go here. I'm fabulously hungry, and I do need to charge my mouse and take my good old pug for a walk. So, thank you very much for watching there, ladies and gents. If you guys are new to the stream, do go ahead and subscribe for more. And, yeah, my lovely girlfriend's giving me a look right now. She's giving me the look of, like, hurry up. So, indeed. Until next time, thank you for watching. If you guys do feel that I've earned your support, do consider becoming a patron. It would be really quite helpful. or even PayPal donations. I was thinking about getting in touch with an artist in the near future and commissioning a high-quality print with a World War I theme. But yeah, until next time, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the future. Stay sexy, especially